living daily in reality. Not in the world of soap opera or TV, not in the disasters happening on the other side of the world, but living in actual reality. But what is reality? That is, what reality really lies behind this world that we see around us. To know that, you'd really have to get off the world and look at it from outside. And this is what a unique human being was able to do. He lived in the first century and was known and acknowledged by thousands of ordinary people who heard and saw him. But more than that, he was written about and talked about in Greek, Latin, and Syriac books, and in the highest circles of government. Here's what Tertullian, a Roman juris-consult, wrote in 145 AD about this man. There was an old decree that no god should be consecrated by the emperor till first approved by the Senate. Tiberius, accordingly, in whose days the Christian name made its entry into the world, having himself received intelligence from Palestine of events which had clearly shown the truth of Christ's divinity, brought the matter before the Senate, with his own decision in favor of Christ. The Senate, because it had not given the approval itself, rejected his proposal. Caesar held to his opinion, threatening wrath against all accusers of the Christians. Consult your histories, says Tertullian. Jesus was born in Bethlehem in 6 BC, talked about our Creator as an only Son would, demonstrated power to heal sickness and raise the dead, was executed and came back from the dead for over 30 days, and explained that he was returning to his Father, the Creator, with whom he existed outside time and space. But above all of this, he made it plain that he was not just a local figure to be used as an example by religions. He explained that you and I were made by his Father, our Creator, inside him, so that he could live through us the life he had planned before we were born. This is reality. In fact, he explained what Einstein and modern physics teach us, that time is relative, depending on where you are in the universe. If you could get far enough away out in space and return 50 years later, you'd be younger than the rest of us on Earth. This Jesus explained, before Abraham was, I am. And he said, I am in you and you in me. One of his associates wrote that all things were created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. A millisecond after our God had his only Son, he created humanity, all of us, individually, inside that Son, so that we would share his life. So we now have the opportunity to accept and enjoy our position, or to deny and miss our privileged relationship to our Maker. This obviously changes the way we all think of our little lives. So it is important for us to study the historicity of this man's life, and especially his resurrection. We need to realize that non-religious historians like Tacitus acknowledge the existence and character of this Jesus of Nazareth, that the facts and history of his action and words are so well documented that expert British scholars have said there is no question about any of the New Testament except about 1,000th part, and that only concerns punctuation and spelling. It's important to know that the original accounts were written by men who were actual eyewitnesses, who suffered torture and death for what they knew was true. It's also significant that the transmission of those accounts down through the centuries is established not simply by the 20 ancient manuscripts on which we depend for Plato's Republic, but in more than 4,000 Greek manuscripts, from as early as 100 AD to 1100 AD. None of them differ from one another on matters of fact. Look at some of this evidence again.